Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go-to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs, where we spotlight powerhouse women making waves in business and beyond. Today's guest is a mentor, coach, and advocate. You know what? This excites me because she's on a mission to help women stop putting themselves last. Oh my God. We need this because I know I have a tendency to put myself last. She has over 25 years of experience mentoring and coaching women. She actually blends her expertise in Enneagram expertise, guys, and that's personality, and her nursing knowledge as a menopause advocate to empower women to step into the life they truly desire and not live that life that you think you should have. She understands firsthand the struggles of always supporting others while neglecting your own needs. She's here to change that for you. Help me welcome Erin Slutsky as we discover more about you reclaiming your power, defining your own success, and start putting yourself first. Welcome, Erin. You are amazing. Oh my God.
What a great introduction. I'm excited.
Well, you're amazing. And so everybody who listens to this knows that I'm a personality freak. I would love to hear how you integrate, all aspects of this, because going through menopause is one thing. Oh my God, the night sweats. Oh my God. And then, the personality aspect of it pumping in. I'm going to stop talking and have you the moment to explain.
Yeah. So it's funny when I think of being in midlife, I think of where I am right now. But if you look on like a timeline, I was in midlife like 10 years ago. That's when I entered it, right?
Mhm.
I didn't realize that. And I was not prepared. I was not ready for what was coming physically, emotionally, relationally. And I don't want any woman to be left without the tools and the understanding and being prepared. And so when you're talking about personality, I use a tool that helps you feel seen and understood and just known deep down to your core. And that's called the Enneagram. Ennea means 9, gram, think of 9 points on a diagram. So there's 9 different types that you can be. Also, when you're talking about menopause and midlife, we all go through very similar symptoms, but we deal with them differently.
Mm.
We experience them differently. And I want women to have a really personal and individual experience as they prepare going into this season of life. And the Enneagram helps you do that because we're all different.
Yeah, we are. And you were a nurse, you said, as well.
Yeah. So I'm able to take my nursing knowledge and help decipher all the jargon and help you ask the right questions when you meet with your practitioner. And I even help you find the right practitioner for you. Um, Again, I want you to be equipped. I want you to be empowered. There's no reason in the world any woman should have to go through menopause blindfolded.
Mhm.
There's so many resources out there, but the problem is there's so many resources out there,
Yeah.
right? It's confusing. You start swirling and then you've got, conflicting information. I want to help you decide what the right treatment is for you because it's going to be different than your best friend or your sister or your mother.
Everybody. So I remember the first time my husband woke up in the middle of the night and said, "Did you pee in bed?" I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I know, and it's so embarrassing and it catches you off guard and you're like, "Oh my gosh, my life is over now. I'm an old lady." But it doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-mm. No.
It just doesn't. And so why suffer when we don't have to?
All right, so I want to hear this next story because this is my most intriguing question I ask you guys every time. Something had to happen to get you to become the entrepreneur you are and start the
Yeah.
business that you have. What was that one thing?
So we have 4 daughters. And when our oldest got her driver's license and drove away for the first time without me, it was the most helpless, scariest feeling that overcame me. I'm like, "Oh, there she goes, and there's nothing I can do about it." And then I'm like, "Wait, I gotta do this 3 more times." They're all leaving the nest. And for me, it felt like it started when they got their driver's license because they had that freedom. And I didn't know where they were. Well, my oldest, at the time, I don't think they had the location apps or anything, or maybe we were up to date with that. By the time the youngest, yeah, we knew exactly where she was. But it was a helpless, scary feeling that overcame me, and I'm like, "Okay." My life just kind of fast forwarded to all of them being gone. I'm like, "Okay, then what am I gonna do?" My identity was so tied up in being their mother. Not that I wasn't gonna be their mom anymore, but they didn't need me like they did. And so I'm like, "Well, what am I gonna do? Who am I?" And that's when I found the Enneagram personality assessment, which gave me language to communicate how I see the world.
Mm.
It gave me permission to accept the stuff that I thought was like um, just defects, right? There's something wrong with me, but it really wasn't. It was like, oh, that's just the way I am. And so I've been able to embrace my whole self. And I want women, every woman, to be able to do that.
So you have 4 children. Wait, so you have
Yeah.
4 daughters.
Yeah.
Okay. And
No
you're married.
pressure. No pressure at all.
And you're married, correct?
Yeah. So my husband, Aaron, his name is Aaron too. Um, we're convinced that one of us is going to get dementia. So we won't have to remember each other's names. Anyway, we've been married for 33 years. So, and we actually like each other right now. We are enjoying being together, which was another scary thing that I saw happening with my friends at
Mhm.
the midlife point. They Their kids left the nest and they were turning to their spouse of many years and said, "Who are you? And I don't even know if I like you."
Yep.
And so I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to like my husband. Of course, I love him, but I wanted to like him too and enjoy our life together. And so we worked really hard at doing that. Um, and yeah, so balancing, you're talking about balancing 4 daughters, and when I say no pressure, I feel sometimes pressure, especially with daughters. I'm setting an example for them.
Mm.
What kind of mother do I want them to be? What kind of woman do I want them to be? I wanna be able to, pave some kind of way so they can go forward to places that I haven't been able to go, or not yet anyway. But I don't want them to see that being a woman is going to stop them from doing what they truly want to do. And so when I started my business at 50, that I thought I was going to be winding down around that time. I'm just getting started.
Yeah. Yeah. So I turned 61 on Monday and I felt the
Oh,
same exact way, like, how am I going to do all this crazy stuff that I still want to do in my life at 61? But you know what? It's who I am and it's my
yeah.
personality and
It,
everything.
it's very different than our mother's generation.
Yes.
I think back to my mom when she was my age and she was retired and she wasn't exploring the world and new things. Um, I just feel like I'm just getting started, and I do have to remind myself, I'm like, okay, this is not old. Look at Jane Fonda. She is still going strong. I want to be like that.
I agree. I agree. And Betsy Johnson, oh my God, love her. She's just so spunky and
I
cute
know.
and over the top.
You can
So
still contribute and be of value at an advanced age, and that's what I intend to do.
so I'm gonna go back a minute just because you
Yeah.
brought it up with your husband. That is so true about looking at each other going, "Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
I'm midlife. Do I even like him? My life has changed. How did you balance and work through all that? Because doing fun things, which I think you do a lot of fun things. So if you can tell us about how you balance the fun things to make sure things
Yeah.
are, exciting.
Yeah. It's an investment, and you have to be intentional. Um, we have had weekly date nights since the girls were little.
Oh,
We
wow.
always prioritize that. Whether it be going, just to get takeout and hiding out in our room, or going out for a nice dinner. We go overnight to a local resort, probably 4 times a year. We go on trips, week long or whatever, a couple times a year. We we do our budget together every Friday. I
Wow.
mean, what couple actually looks forward to doing their budget? There was a time where that was like our biggest pain point, because money, finances is a huge area where people do not agree. And it took us years, but now we're like, oh, it's Friday. Let's look at our budget. You know, how are we doing? So it creates that open communication.
Mhm.
And so, it, it takes work. It takes work. And also accepting, this is where the Enneagram came in too. When I discovered the Enneagram, this was probably about 8 years ago now, maybe 10. I had him take that test. And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then he was listening to a podcast and he's like, oh, that sounds just like me. And so he determined his type, and I was reading up on it. I'm like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. I remember this one time we were sitting on the couch in the family room and we were having what I like to call a heated discussion. And he gets up in the middle of our conversation and leaves the room. Well, ouch. I felt abandoned, and how rude of him. I was talking. But once I realized, oh, his personality type needs space and time to process, and they want to have the right answer.
Mhm.
So now I give him time. I give him the space that he needs to come up with the right solution, the right answer, the right response, instead of just flipping off like I do and just like react, which can cause damage, right? So he always comes back with the wisest perspective, and he's usually right all the time. But now I don't feel hurt when he feels stressed, or that anxious kind of like, oh, I can't handle this. I let him do that, and that was a huge change.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's helped you with your, daughters as well, understanding
Absolutely.
them. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're all so different. And when I remember, oh yeah, she needs to know this. Oh yeah, this is just the way she is. And it can happen with anyone. People
Mm,
you work with, people you work for, um, the bagger at the grocery.
mhm.
It creates empathy.
Yeah,
It helps you understand that not everyone is thinking the way you do. They don't see the world the way you do, and that's okay. Let them
for
have
me,
their perspective.
I love that because, I mean, I'm a 3, so I know I'm at the
Me
bottom.
too.
Yeah, that's
Me
why we get
too.
along so good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we just have the ideas, we're just there, So, all
Yep.
right. What advice do you have for other women who are growing their business right now? And you can use it from a personality perspective.
Well, trust your gut.
Mhm.
Trust your gut. You know what's best for you and your business. You might get advice from other people, but be careful that you're not looking for external validation or something that doesn't align with your values. Again, the Enneagram helps you articulate what is most important to you. And what's most important to you may not be most important to someone else. So embracing that and just trusting that you know what's best for your business. Um, and one thing that I've kind of like used as a barometer is it's either a hell yes or a hell no.
Yeah.
It may be like, not yet, but if you get a hell no or a red flag, bye, just move on. Don't worry about how that person is going to think of you, or don't worry about disappointing or people pleasing. If you have to tell someone no, thank you, you got to go with what aligns with what's most important to you.
100%. Knowing what you've learned in your career so far, what advice would you go back and give your 18-year-old self?
Mm, I would say don't hide. Don't hide. Um, as an Enneagram type 3, you might relate to this. We try to avoid failure as much as possible. And so we might chalk it up to, oh, I see that this is not going to work, so I'm going to detour and not make it happen instead of fail.
Mhm.
And so sometimes that looks like hiding, like no one's going to see me. I'm going to fly under the radar. I don't want anyone to know that I failed at this or whatever. Um, I feel like women, we're still emerging. We're still trying to find our voice and get the courage to really say what's on our minds. And sometimes that's taken as being abrasive or aggressive, but that's just like our people pleasing coming out. When
Mm.
we're worried about what other people are going to think about what we say or do, we're just in that people pleasing mode. So don't be afraid to speak your heart, speak your mind, and be kind doing it.
Very good. Yeah, I always smile when I'm nasty, so nobody really knows what's
Oh,
really going on. They're like, "How do you do
oh,
that?" So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But you're
so
hiding behind that smile,
always.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So is that authentic? Or I don't even want to say authentic. I want to say genuine.
yeah.
Is it genuine to hide behind the mask of, yes, you're the most wonderful person, but I really don't like you at all? You know, sometimes we gotta put on a face, but are we doing that in our business? Hiding, especially in our businesses, and not letting people get to know who we really are.
Yeah. So I just sort of walk away from them. They might get the smile and then I just like go,
Oh,
"Okay,"
yeah.
and then I walk away
Yep.
and yeah, yeah.
Sure, sure.
Sure, that's it. It's all done. Thank you. So that's that 3, I guess, just coming out. What can we say?
Yeah.
All right. What is one key strategy that's helped you advance your career that maybe you didn't think was gonna help, but it did?
Collaboration, partnering up with others who align with your mission. Right now, I'm collaborating with nurse practitioners that have started their own med spas. They are, prescribing and treating menopause. They are helping women lose weight with medical weight loss. They are helping women through the aging process with aesthetics. And so these nurse practitioners, they're at the core of my being because they're nurses, right? They are trying so hard to meet these women in a place that's they're struggling and give them the care that they deserve, but they're treating their bodies.
Mhm.
I help treat the mind and the emotional aspect of it to make it a well-rounded, holistic experience.
Wow, what a great partnership. That
Yeah.
is amazing. Because I just find menopause is just the thing that nobody, like you said in the beginning, nobody wants to talk about. It's hush hush.
Yeah, I think it's changing.
Yeah.
I think it's changing. Anytime I've gone to, whether it be a networking event or some even a random place, and I'll see a woman be I'm like, "Yeah, I got you." You know, I want women to know they're not alone in it and they don't have to suffer.
I remember going to events and sitting down and just like it was cold outside.
Mm,
And I was sweating and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" I'm
yep,
literally sweating. And I wasn't hot. I was just sweating.
no. Yeah, and there's really, when you're there, you can't what are you gonna do? You can excuse yourself and go to the restroom for a couple minutes because it really doesn't last that long, but it's embarrassing. You could be soaking wet. Then what do you do?
100%. That is just one thing that just literally I was like, "Oh my god, if I would have known about that 10 years before,
Uh-huh.
how would I have been able to fix it?"
Yeah.
And that is what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I really encourage women, late 30s, early 40s to start really paying attention to their cycles, their moods, because those are the first things that you'll notice. Your cycles will get kind of wonky. You will blow up at something or get really, really sad about something that you normally wouldn't have. Paying attention and being really self-aware to those little bit of changes, even changes if they're in a, relationship. Are you guys fighting more?
Mm.
I mean, kids will, play a factor in that, but women starting to go through perimenopause will have more relational discord because he's seeing changes. He doesn't know what's going on. She's changing and not knowing what's going on. So I also really do like to support the guys in this too and educating them so they can understand that it's not them.
Right.
Their lady is going through something and you need to support her and this is how you do it.
Wow. I never thought of it from that aspect, but that really works
Yeah,
100%. It's
for
a
sure.
holistic all around
Mhm.
wellness plan. Great. All right. Any
Yeah.
future plans or goals you have for your career that we need to keep an eye out for?
So I am really excited. In May, I am launching Midlife by Design. It's a group experience.
Mm,
So I'm just gathering midlife women around, and we are going to go through all the different aspects of midlife. We're going to go through the menopause changes and treatments and what's right for you. We're going to go through relationship issues and how to communicate clearly and not just with your partner, but with your growing adult children and your aging parents.
yeah.
Because a lot of times it's that sandwich generation where you're caring for everybody. Who's caring for you, right? Your identity. Again, the Enneagram is a great tool to help you identify who you are because we're questioning, like, wait, who am I? I'm not mom. I'm not, who are you? So you can embrace yourself. Stress and burnout prevention. What else? Future goals. Like, what does retirement look like for you? And are you prepared financially to go through that? So, we're going to be talking about all the different aspects of midlife in this group experience. I'm going to have my expert collaborators coming on. So I'm going to have nurse practitioners, I'm going to have divorce lawyers, I'm going to have financial experts all come on and help you navigate midlife. So that starts in May.
So I'm gonna add a few things in for you to start, like, wrapping your brain around. So,
Yeah,
I love the fact of the grandparent situation because, like, I've told my parents, which are 82 and 85, "You know
yeah,
what? You didn't have to go through what I'm going through and still try to work and still try to
yeah.
answer the call when they call you and everything." And my husband's parents are 89 and 92, and we've had to
Wow.
take the keys away.
Yeah. Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things I remember going through.
So with that as a whole, our generation is really almost the first generation that's going through those aspects because medicine is keeping people around longer.
Yeah. And we as women are working full on careers.
That's right. 100%
So,
or
well,
more
and
than
we're
one.
working longer. So, yeah. And then our kids now, I talk about the empty nest, right? I like to call mine an open nest
Oh, cute.
because the way the economy is right now, I've got 3 of my grown daughters living with us right now.
I was getting ready to go to that aspect of it for
Yeah,
you as well.
one's in college and she's commuting, thankfully, because she's like, "I'm not spending this money to live on campus for 2 classes, 2 days of classes. Great. You can stay here. Save the money." Our youngest got a big girl job as a 911 dispatcher, so she's saving money to buy a place. All right, you can live here. And our oldest, the one, she has a 6-year-old daughter, single mom, trying to get her feet, under her. Yeah, you can stay here for a little bit. We did give them a time limit because we're going to downsize in 4 years and
So
maybe move somewhere south where it's warmer.
come to me, we'll have fun. So let's talk about why some of this is happening as well. Okay.
Hmm.
From most people on here know that I am an insurance agent, health insurance agent. So I see it on a continual
Mm,
basis. People have to make a decision. Am
yeah.
I going to have health insurance or I'm going to have a place to live? Or do we all need to live together as a family?
Yeah. I didn't think of it along the lines of the health insurance
So
aspect.
that's like 1,200 to $1,600 a month for a family. Even if they're working a
Yeah.
job and the, employer is only paying half of that,
Yeah.
that's still a lot of
Yeah.
money for them.
It's a lot of money, and then, I don't know, like my daughters, I see them, they won't go to the doctor
Mhm.
because it costs money,
It costs money. Exactly,
right?
100%.
Um, but then the illness or the problem gets worse.
Mhm. Yep.
So I yeah, and through menopause, I'm seeing a lot of women not getting treated well, not getting the treatment they deserve because the doctors are now being told 10 minutes. That's all you get with your patients.
That's it. That's all they get.
How can you do that? How can you do that as a primary care physician? I don't even have a primary care physician anymore because she doesn't I see her once a year for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
She doesn't know me, but my nurse practitioner who prescribes my hormone replacement knows me, right? So I've got more specialists on board. And I had my insurance nurse ask me, she's like, "What do you do when you're sick?" I'm like, "I go to the walk-in clinic."
Mhm. That's
I
it.
don't go. I'm a nurse. What am I talking about? I don't go to the doctor when I'm sick.
"Hey, mom, what do I need to do for this?" My mom's a nurse. She's retired, but I get it. "Mom,
Yeah.
what do I need to do for this?"
Yeah. So, it's insurance, I'm sure is a big deal. It's
It
and
is.
and then the insurances aren't covering or it's the what you have to go through to get things approved. I don't know. It's a mess. Something
It's
needs to happen.
It is. Something's gonna happen, hopefully. So, all right, let's talk something fun.
Okay.
Superpower for 24 hours. What would you have? What would it be?
Oh, I always want to say, like, I want to be invisible because then I can observe without them knowing I'm there. And so observing people in their own habitat acting naturally and I could hear them. I'm really good at when people talk to me, I can hear what they mean behind it, like what they're not saying.
Mhm.
Um, just being that fly on the wall to see what people are really doing and thinking. I don't know why, but I think it would be cool.
It would be fun because you know what's going on and how to fix
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
All right. What's one fact about you that not a lot of people know about?
Um, I think it's funny when people find out that I was born on St. Patrick's Day, everyone seems to like think that's a really cool thing. And yes, that's how I got my name, Erin. And we actually just did the ancestry.com DNA thing. So I am 26% Irish. But being born on St. Patrick's Day, I mean, everyone celebrates on that day.
Yep, definitely. What about Scottish? Do you have any Scot in you?
No Scottish, Swedish, but
Swedish.
yeah. Hmm.
Yep, I
Yeah.
have mostly Scot and Irish, obviously. I mean, redhead, what do you expect? All right, a favorite book. Do you have a favorite book?
And it's one that I read recently. It's called On Our Best Behavior. And it talks, I should probably look up the subtitle because, of course, those subtitles are almost more important than the title.
Yeah.
Um, but it talks about how the seven, here, wait, on our best behavior. So here's one of the first signs of aging. Needing to wear readers, right? The seven deadly sins and the price women pay to be good.
Oh,
I grew up in the Catholic Church, and so the seven deadly sins were put in front of us very often. I did not realize how much that influenced my whole life, all women that I know. And it was an empowering read, and I'm thinking about taking a group to go through that book, just so you can be aware of like, oh, this is showing up. That's why I feel this way. It's not true, so I'm gonna respond differently.
okay, that's amazing. I grew up Catholic too, so I totally understand where you're going.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so it's on the book list now. All right.
Yeah.
Song. What is one of your favorite songs? Go to or songs. It can be more than one.
So I've had this song in my head for a couple weeks now. I'm working on a talk, um, walking women through self advocacy, and it's Brave by, um, oh, what's her name?
Okay.
Sarah. Oh,
Sarah
I can't
Brezak,
remember.
is
Sarah.
that it?
What?
All right, now you have me looking
Babe.
it up for you.
I know. I'm not a singer, but the line that talks about say what you wanna say and let the words fall out.
It's
Honestly, I wanna
Bareilles,
see you be brave.
Sarah
Sarah
Bareilles.
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 Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Sarah
Yeah.
Bareilles. Yep.
So I love the encouragement to say what you want to say because it shows that you trust yourself and that you are confident, that you have good behind what you want to say.
Very good. I love that song too. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite quote or quotes?
Oh, my latest one. You're getting me on. I mean, like I want to, and again, I want to get this right because it's so good. I just posted it today, actually, on my Instagram. People only see the decisions that you make, not the choices that you had.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's so true.
It's so true because we don't all have the same choices, right? Not
Mhm.
everything is available to every woman, unfortunately. We see the decisions that women are making according to what's available to them, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have.
Wow. Okay, that is a powerful quote.
Mhm.
That is amazing. All right. How do you stay motivated?
Rest. This past Monday was not happening. I was getting no work done. And Mondays are usually my really productive, creative days. And I couldn't do it. Nothing was, getting off the ground. I said, done. I got in my car. I live really close to Lake Michigan. I went by the lake. It looked bright blue, like the ocean, that part, Gulf by you. By the Gulf, it was bright blue. Lake Michigan. It looks like an ocean. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it was gorgeous and it was kind of calm. And the seagulls were floating on the top, little bit of waves crashing up against the rocks. It was peaceful. It was now up here in the Chicago area. Today is 50. It's pretty warm. But it was kind of warm that day. And just to get the fresh air and to breathe deeply, I felt so much better after that.
Mm.
I've learned not to force things. If it's not happening, get up and step away, take a break.
That is great advice. That is like some of the best advice because I mean, sometimes I try to plow through it and I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere.
Right. Yeah, that you need to call a timeout. Yep.
All right. So, what is the best way for our audience to get in touch with you or stay in touch with you?
Yeah, I am all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Erin Slutsky coaching for any of those. And can I give your audience a gift?
You can.
So this midlife by design group experience, I want to give your audience $100 off.
Wow. That's so sweet.
Use
Oh my God.
use the code design and that'll automatically take $100 off the program.
And how do they actually get in to sign up for it?
Yeah, erinslutskycoaching.com/midlife by design.
That's awesome. I love that. And is there anything else you want to share with our audience that we haven't spoke about?
Hmm. I do speak a lot about self-advocacy.
Mm.
And right now in history, I feel like um, not just women need that, everyone needs that. Make sure you're doing it out of love. Make sure you're doing it not to convince others of your way, but to convince them that their way is rooted in love.
Yep. I mean, if you can't do it in love, you might as well not do it. Correct?
That's right. That's right.
That's
If
it.
it doesn't, yeah, what's the point?
There's no point in it. Erin, you have been amazing. Oh my God, I loved having you on. Everybody is just going to get so much information from you, and those nuggets that you have put in here are truly amazing. Thank you for
Thank you
being
so much. This has
yeah.
been so great. And I'm looking at all those women behind you.
Uh,
They're so eclectic. They're so different. We're all so different, and everyone has amazing value and worth. And
Mm.
comparing, I mean, it could be easy for me to look at those women and look at this, image that I'm seeing being reflected on the screen. I'm like, oh, but I don't have a really cool, sexy black outfit. And I don't have long hair. How often do we do that, right?
Mm.
But if we show up as ourselves, somebody is going to think, I like her. I want to
Yep.
get to know her better. So,
She's my jam, right?
yeah.
All right. Thank you, Erin, again.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.